stunden blir på svenska. Varsågod, Jyrki.
Tack ska du ha. Och god morgon till alla. I will first tell a little bit story about Aino Health, what we are doing, why we exist, and what is our plans for the future. Before to that, so a little bit background information. Today in a society, we are seeing that the corporations and the whole society is investing more and more to the health. And the health-related costs are increasing year after year. Same time, when we are investing more and more, we are seeing the situation like this. People in the age group 20 to 25 years old are in a worse physical shape than the people in the age group 40 to 45. This is a pure catastrophe to the society as a whole. We are investing more. We are seeing younger people in a worse shape, and in the same time we are facing the truth that the sick leave absence is on rise year after year also. So the question is this a new normal? Is this what we are happy with? Is this how the corporations can cope and be competitive? According to our statistic, 86% of the visits to the doctors could have been avoided. Why this is so important? Not to keep people away from the doctor treatment, but what we can see that many of the issues could be solved in an easier and a faster way. Same time, when looking into corporations, we have been seeing that the HR department and the management are lacking proper tools how to handle sickness absences, health-related cost, and the productivity inside the company. We are bringing to this situation a platform for proactive activities. There's a lots of increasing cost for sick leaves. There's a higher rate of sickness absences inside the corporations than it's in the society. There's many reasons for this. For example, psychological signals, motivation lacking. But I would say one of the most important thing is that how the managerial level is acting to these things. Then also high costs are accepted. We are comparing ourselves to the other peer groups and thinking that things are okay. But many times when looking, for example, the sickness absence rates, they are lying somewhere in the 7 to 8%. It's not the normal. We are providing tools to this. One is Health Manager, which is the cornerstone to our activities, and then help desk services for quick action to the employee population to help them if they really are sick. We have a proven business concept, a working concept in Finland, where we have started this R&D and business development activities, spin-off, I could say, from Finnish military forces. And now what we are doing, we are seeking from the IPO in the Stockholm Stock Exchange, Nasdaq in the First North, to aim to scale this business in Sweden and in Germany. When we are doing our services, we can also very proudly say that there is a great improvement in the services available for employees. And this is, of course, a very important thing. When doing something, it needs to benefit everybody, not only the company management and shareholders, but also the employee population. As I said, our cornerstone is Health Manager. That's a process-driven cloud-based solution which is handling the early intervention processes and making sure that the right type of information is the right place in the right time. In top of that, we have the help desk service, as I described. That's the fast service if somebody gets sick, so they have just one place where to call, and the process to help them starts immediately. To top of that, we can use telemedicine services if it's necessary. In the first year, among our client population, we can show the results 20 to 55% reduction in a health-related cost. And this is a huge amount of money for many companies. If you are looking at their balance sheet, so the health-related costs are starting to hit the bottom line. And now how you can affect to those things is pretty important if you want to be competitive in the world markets. Here's one case example, Stora Enso. When we started, the situation in Stora Enso was that the sickness absence rate was approximately 8%, which means in a normal language that every single person was away from the working place due to sickness related reasons approximately 20 days, a little bit over 20 days. We implemented our health manager solution. We a little bit reorganized the healthcare processes inside the Stora Enso Finland. In a 1.5 year, we came from the 8% to 3.3%. So to the level in the heart industry where many, for example, Swedish so-called white-collar companies are staying at the moment. The savings after the cost in the first year to Stora Enso was approximately 78 million Swedish crowns. The question from my side to the Stora Enso CEO at that time was that is it lots of money to you? And the reason for asking this is that if you're looking at their revenue stream, it's billions. But yes, the answer was, do you know how much paper we need to sell with that money? And that was quite a lot. So offered services, health management and analysis. Here we can see a snapshot from our cloud-based tool, Health Manager, and in a nutshell, what I could say from this tool is that it's connecting the employee population, supervisors in a need-based occupational healthcare companies, insurance companies, HR department, and the management. And what this means, we are talking about the early intervention. It means that if somebody, employer, has, let's say, challenges with health or workability, somebody should start to help this individual. And now what we are seeing today is that there is a clear guidelines, but there is not a clear processes, meaning that the ball is not specifically in somebody's hand. And we are always wondering who should have the task to help the person. In the same time, we are facing that we are not following the cost related to the health. And this tool, first of all, it manages that we are getting a quick action to help the people. There's a clear processes inside, there's analytic tools inside, and there is also money following in the processes. And when talking about analytics, if we think that there's a company with, for example, thousands of employees, it's a very tough job every morning to dig up the data and see in which department situation is okay and where they need the help. With our analysis tool, we can get this information right on the desktop without digging any data. It comes automatically. Then about help desk. If somebody feels sick, so they have just one number where to call. In average of 33 seconds, there's a nurse answering the phone. And when we are answering the phone, we are seeing from the health manager backend system who is calling in, from which company, from which department, and what is the background information. We are treating this case in a similar way if you would visit a physical doctor. But in the first slides, as I showed, 86% of the cases can be handled over the phone without visiting a physical doctor. We are not leaving the case here. If we are getting permission to the people to stay home, we are also agreeing during the phone call that we are calling you back, for example, 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 8 o'clock in the evening. Why? 2 reasons. First, we want to make sure that things are getting in a better direction. Secondly, if we see that there's a possibilities, so we are asking, are you coming to work tomorrow? If you are visiting a normal doctor, the average sickness absence is approximately 3.5 days. If you are going to the public side, the average sickness absence, what the doctors are writing, is 5 days. And it's not a question that the doctors are, let's say, incompetent. They just don't want to see you anymore. They don't have the capacity. Here, the average sickness absence is 1.4 days. Why this is important? First, to help people as quick as possible to the right type of treatment paths if needed. But secondly, one sickness absence day to the companies is costing approximately 2,000 to 4,000 Swedish crowns. So there's also a big money involved in these issues. Then many of you might think that there is this type of health services already existing. That's true. There's from occupational healthcare side a similar type of health desk services. But what is the difference here? We are also combining all the processes to the corporate systems for the payroll, for the substitute seeking, and so on. So it's not just a phone service, it's also immediately connecting the information to the backend system and to the management systems. So, business process outsourcing. As I said, we have gained a huge amount of results with our work, and there's also lots of clients who have been asking, could we take the whole process in our hands? And yes, we can do that. The meaning is not that we are hiring lots of doctors around Sweden or Germany or Finland. The meaning here is that we are managing the knowledge. And then doctors and those can serve using our platform. So I would say, in a way, it's a little bit like a healthcare Uber model, this outsourcing process. So, how we are earning money? We have two different ways to price our services. One is fixed priced and one is profit-based pricing. And I can be or say that I'm really proud about this profit-based pricing. And the reason for that is simple, that if somebody can deliver the services with profit-based pricing, then they really need to believe that they are good, they are effective, and that the solutions brings results. And that we can show. From one example of the fixed price, so let's say the pricing level is approximately, if you have 1,000 employees, it's 1,200 Swedish crowns per year. In average, for example, in this case, the sickness absence rate is 4%, and we come down to the 3% with our services. So the savings for the company is approximately 4.6 million Swedish crowns. With the profit sharing things, we are normally doing so that we are dividing, let's say, the savings, and that's calculated per daily price. So let's say if the daily price is approximately 2,000 Swedish crowns, we are taking from that 40 to 50% depending of the case. And here there's lots of success cases and stories, for example, in Finland, in the area of municipalities and cities. For example, the city of Tornio, when we started, the starting level was that the sickness absence was 10 highest in the among the Finnish cities. After first year, they were among the 5 best Finnish cities in Finland. And the similar cases, case after case. So that's why we are really proud about these profit sharing things. It allows companies to take these type of things in and see how they are really working. Clients with whom we are working, we don't have any industry-specific area, so we are working with the metal industry, with the wood industry, with the public companies, with the consulting companies, and so on. So basically, we have the experience from the corporate world as whole. Then, group structure. Aino Health AB, a public company, is the parent company. There's a sister company in Finland, Aino Health Management, and now in a rollout phase we are forming Aino Health Sweden and in the same time Aino Health Germany. So the meaning is that there will be a very aggressive, positively aggressive rollout plan here in Sweden and in Germany in the near future. From our board of directors, we have a very strong board. Cecilia Hollerup, it's a lawyer, has been pretty much involved with the bigger and smaller companies, with the listed and non-listed companies, and the same applies with the other board members. Our management group, I would say that an extremely talented management group. So there is not a junior people involved. We know exactly what we are doing, how we are doing, and what are the steps, what needs to be done. There's a people who have been working with the Nokia Siemens networks around the globe. There's a people who are doing technical and R&D activities around the world in USA, in UK, in Southeast Asia. So every single person has been involved previously in rollouting different type of services in a global scale. We have also already a revenue from Finland 2015, 22 million Swedish crowns. This year we are hitting approximately 30 million Swedish crown with a profit. Our aim is to list the company, as I said, in the Stockholm Nasdaq First North, and the offered share issue is 1.8 million shares. The company valuation 94 million Swedish crowns. And the subscription period starts from November 28th to December 9th. And the listing in the First North is aimed to start December 16th this year. And of course, I would be more than glad to see you all to join this journey and to take the global market. The aim for Aino Health is to be Salesforce.com in the healthcare arena. And that's what we are going to do. Tack ska ni ha. Nu kan vi byta till svenska.
Stort tack. Välkommen att sätta dig här bredvid mig. Varför gå på börsen, tänkte jag börja med att fråga dig.
Alltså meningen enkelt att gå till börsen är att göra möjligt den här rollouten vad jag pratade i Sverige, Tyskland, sen senare Storbritannien, kanske USA. Alltså få de där pengarna att bygga upp landorganisationerna och rekrytera bra människorna att jobba med oss.
Hur kommer det sig att ni börjar just med Tyskland och Sverige? Är den marknaden mest intressant för er eller känner ni till den bäst?
Vi känner förstås dem ganska bra. Och sen en sak som vi måste komma ihåg när man till exempel pratar om sjukfrånvaron. Så i Finland företagarna betalar 1-10 dagarna. Och här i Sverige från 2 till 14 dagarna. Men i Tyskland till exempel 42 dagarna. Så där ser ni att det är ganska intressant företag att hitta lösningarna. Hur kan man reagera i de här situationerna? Mm.
Har vi någon fråga från publiken? Ja, varför går frånvaron ner då när företaget skaffar er tjänst eller köper er tjänst?
Det är förstås många orsaker till den, men först skulle jag säga att det viktigaste är ju att man har tydliga processerna. Och den här cloud-based Aino Health Manager-verktygen, så den hjälper i den här processen, till exempel tidiggripande. Så ungefär efter 1 månad när företagen har tagit i bruk våra tjänsterna, så kan vi garantera att alla förmän, cheferna, hålla de här tidigt förgripande tal. Vi kan också redovisa att alla viktiga grupperna får informationen på rätt tid till rätt plats. Det menar ledningsgrupperna, det menar företagshälsovård, det menar försäkringsbolagarna. Och med de här processerna så kan vi göra de här resultaten som vi ser. Alltså vanligtvis, som jag visade från slide-decken, är att resultaten under första året är 20-55% sjunkning i hälsokostnaden.
Mm. Ja, du var inne lite grann på det här hur ni sätter priset. Ni har 2 olika modeller. Ja. Kan du ge något mer exempel på hur mycket pengar ett bolag kan tjäna exempelvis?
Ja, jag kan ge exempel och jag kan också säga varför började vi med den här profit-sharing prismodell. Det var nämligen, ni vet kanske staden Haparanda-Tornio. Tornio hade just den där situationen att de hade väldigt höga kostnaderna, hälsokostnaderna och ville göra någonting åt det. Men sen när vi pratade med deras ledningsgrupp så fattade vi att de har inte pengar. De har problemet men de har inte pengarna. Men de ville ha våra verktyg och systemen, så sa vi att kanske vi gör så att vi tar 40% av sparningarna, ni får 40% och medarbetarna får 10% om det blir sparningarna. Alltså win, win, win. Så som jag sa, i första året så kom vi rejält ner och det var kanske den Finlands dyraste hälsomanagementprojekt vad man har aldrig gjort. Men på samma tid så kan man säga att staden hade ju ingen risk. Så det är väldigt lätt att räkna i huvudet, alltså om vi tar 40% och vi säger att till exempel i kommunala sektorn dagprisen är ungefär 2000-2500 svenska kronor, så om vi kommer ner 40%, 50% med sjukfrånvaron så det är massor med pengar.
Det är ju fantastiskt ju.
Ja.
Men blir människor alltså friskare bara genom att ni så att säga tar över den här?
Nej, man skulle inte säga att man kan säga faktiskt att de blev friskare, men det är också så att om man pratar om sjukfrånvaron så till exempel korta sjukfrånvaron så ungefär 60-70% det är någonting annat än sjukdom. Det kan vara att du har svårigheter hemma eller du har svårigheter med din chef eller någon annan sak. Men sen vanligtvis vad det händer att när du går till eller träffar läkaren så det blir medikaliserad. Fast i bakändan det skulle vara någon helt annan system. Och det har vi sett i många stora företagen. Alltså det är mycket som gäller leadership och management. Och med den där, om man bättrar den där så får man också samtidigt bättre resultat.
Ja, man får mer uppmärksamhet också som individ.
Och sen om man faktiskt behöver till exempel medikaliska hjälp så får man det genast. Att man inte väntar. Alltså processen börjar köra sakerna framåt.
Du, har ni några konkurrenter idag på någon av era marknader?
Ja, jag skulle säga att det är frågan som vi får ganska ofta. Och, till exempel om jag ger exempel från Stora Enso. Så våra konkurrenter skulle bli sådana som SAP, Oracle, som har database-systemen. Men sanningen är också det att bygga sådana här system till SAP kostar miljonerna. Och vår skulle jag säga starka delen är det att till exempel till Stora Enso när vi integrerade den, det tog bara 5 veckorna. Om man tänker på SAP-projekten tar det ungefär 1 år eller 2 år. Så, men samtidigt måste jag säga att det för mycket pengarna på bordet. Alltså det betyder det att det blir kompetition. Men jag tror att vi har ungefär 2 till 3 år och springa snabbt. Och som jag sa så målsättningen är ju att springa så snabbt att vi kan bli Salesforce.com på den här branschen.
Hur länge har ni jobbat med att ta fram modellen och programmet?
Vi började året 1994 från finska militärmaktet. Alltså där är vår hemplan om vi skulle säga så. Och jag är väldigt glad att vi kommer därifrån därför att som ni vet så militären satsar ju väldigt mycket till processerna och hur kan de bättra sina verktyg och processerna. Och sen samtidigt är jag också lyckligt att vi kommer från Finland därför att Finland är en av de ledande länderna när man pratar om forskning i tidiggripande och sån här proaktiv stöd och medicin. Men sen 2010 började vi digitalisera allt det här vetenskap och det måste man ju säga att det finns ju massor av studier där, men vi var det första som började digitalisera hela processen. Så 2010 är den här vad ni såg idag.
Det var då ni började att gå och sälja in mot kund?
Ja, alltså Tornio stad var första testkund.
Ja, trevligt. Frågor från publiken? Varsågod. Vi ska upprepa frågan också så att våra webb-tv-tittare hör. Har ni integrerat företagets system med ert eget system?
Ja, alltså Helpdesk är integrerad med Health Manager, den här cloud-baserad solution. Och den är till och med, om det behövs, integrerad till exempel i Stora Enso med deras SIP-system, varifrån får vi all informationen om lönerna, vem jobbar på vilken avdelning och så vidare. Och det betyder också det att till exempel om vi tar frånvaro, så det är ju kostnader alltså som följer med. Så de här kostnaderna får vi till payroll, service och så vidare. Alltså allt är integrerat, så vi kan också spara massor med tid med vad kollar man backend-processerna.
Finns det egentligen någon teknisk begränsning för hur stora ni kan bli med den plattformen som ni har idag?
Nej, den är byggd på samma sätt som de här stora plattformarna som till exempel Salesforce, Airbnb. Alltså den är möjligt att skala väldigt snabbt och väldigt stort.
Och på flera språk naturligtvis också.
Ja, förstås. Nu ligger det på en finska, svenska, engelska och tyska på tillfälle.
När är en satsning på engelska marknaden på gång exempelvis?
Ja, alltså i England gör vi just market entry study och vi är ganska långt på den där processen och samma gör vi också i USA. Men längst är vi nu i Sverige och i Tyskland var vi har startat rekrytera. Och första kunderna hoppeligen får vi på det här årssidan.
Bra. Stort tack.
Stort tack.
Lycka till.
Tack ska ni ha.